Now, I absolutely love Funko Pops, so it only makes sense that my next platinum is Funko's first dip into computer games, so come with me while I get the platinum for Funko Fusion. Now, the game is very similar to LEGO games, with this game throwing you into a variety of movie universes from Universal Studios. When we start the game up, you get to pick your first pop from the shelf, choosing from Jurassic World, Scott Pilgrim, Umbrella Academy, Masters of the Universe, Hot Fuzz, The Thing, or Battlestar Galactica. This platinum does not have any guides up, so we'll be going into this one blind. I think the best way to tackle this is to complete the main story. Then there are things called cameo worlds, so we will do them next. And finally, clean up for the 100%, which should give us the platinum minus 1 or 2 miscellaneous ones. We start with one of my all-time favorite movie characters, and that is Sergeant Nicholas Angel from Hot Fuzz. This then throws us into the Hot Fuzz universe, or Wonder World as the game calls them. But before we go into the Hot Fuzz world, you search around and find Foxo, who is being locked up, and he asks you to free him. Once you do, he helps you gain entry into the next room where it looks like a workshop, and the manager is there, Freddy the Funko, and he explains that throughout the Wonder Worlds there is this purple smoke covering them. And just as he explains that, a hole in the floor opens up, and out comes our evil version of Freddy, who literally calls himself Eddie, and he's after the crown. Foxo steps in and gets smoked, literally. Freddy and Eddie fight over the crown and splits itself and spreads all over the Wonder Worlds. And with your help, you manage to get Eddie to retreat. While Freddy is healing, he has set us the task of finding all of the crowns throughout the Wonder World so he can gain his power back. In doing so, we get our first trophy. This is where the fun begins. So we head down to our first Wonder World, the Wonder World of the Village of Sanford, and oh boy, have they knocked this out of the park with the game. This game is very much a homage to the LEGO games, taking a lot, and I mean a lot, of inspiration from it. You have vinyls, which is their version of bolts, the switching of characters, which I'm guessing there will be characters with certain abilities to get into certain areas. But the thing I found best is the attention to detail to the level of the Wonder World that anyone who has watched or enjoyed the film Hot Fuzz will appreciate. The posters from the movie, the characters, even so far as the drunk kid weeing in the fountain itself. And the first task, just like from the movie, we have to solve the car accident. To do that, we need to build a black light, and we have to explore the map to find the parts. Turns out the tasks in this are to solve all the crimes from the movie, from the car accident to the statue falling off the church to the mansion exploding. Once you solve all the crimes, we manage to get our first crown. After this, we have to chase the killer, which is the fella that does the yarp, through the castle, defeating all of the hooded baddies, just like in the movie, until we make it to the end and grab our second crown. It's here we get to the point of the movie where they find out all the villagers are in on it, and we arm up and take out the village ringleaders. In doing so, I died a few times. The game has a cool respawn mechanic. You float around like a ghost and break things to get the vinyl you need, or spend the ones that you already have to respawn. I died a couple of times and managed to get the second trophy, Funko Investor, for spending 25,000 vinyl in one world. Lastly, we have to chase Skinhead just like in the movie and defeat him to show off one of the best scenes in the movie in Funko form. Once we defeat him, Eddie returns, and just like before, we shoot the purple goo off him and collect enough to make a big Funko. In this world, that Funko is, of course, the Swan. Once you defeat them, you return to the factory, hand over the crowns to help heal Freddy, and in doing so, that gets us the trophy for the greater good, referencing the line from the movie. Another thing this game does that I enjoy is there is no order to the levels. You can complete each world in your own order. You don't have to do it in XYZ, you can do it in ZXY. So with the Hot Fuzz world done, we are moving on to... So we choose the most badass of the Umbrella Academy students, and that is number 5. We start the level and Eddie takes control of old Reginald and kidnaps Victor. This is the first time we run into the part of the level that is character specific. Pogo won't let us pass. Just like the show, Allison can tell people to do things, and that gets us past the door. This Wonderworld is a mishmash of the 4 different seasons of this series at the time the game was made. Season 5 is currently out now and the show has ended. It has Allison's Pop from Season 3, Five's from Season 1, Klaus's Season 2, and Diego is Season 3. You go around playing out different steps. First, rescue Luther, then Luther dies when Victor is blowing up the moon, when in actual fact Luther dies in Season 4. Then we go to the Commission and defeat the Commissioner, and finally we defeat the Guardians from Season 4. And then when they are resetting the universe, Eddie/Reginald comes and we have to defeat him to get the crown. We get this and take it back to the factory and learn more about where Eddie came from and what he is. While completing this world, we get the trophy popping off for popping off 100 Funko heads when defeating them. This trophy seemed a little bit random as to when the heads would pop off, but I had the most luck if I just aimed for the head. And then we got I'm the Daddy here for completing the Umbrella Academy world. We now move over to Battlestar Galactica. Now, I'm not too familiar with this series all too much, but I know the Cylons and that's about it. So whether this is pulling from one series or a bunch mixed together like the Umbrella Academy, you'll have to let me know in the comments. We start with Eddie taking over some sort of alien overlord, and we find our Pops on Earth just as an invasion kicks in, and our task is to lead 2 people to safety. Next, we need to protect the ship we just escaped from by being attacked by the Cylons. After that, we need to look for parts for a robot dog in order to gain access to the next level. We then have to find all of the characters for one final push to the level, taking out Eddie again, taking the aliens over from this Wonderworld, and getting the trophy 100,000 light years from nowhere. Now onto a 1980s classic, The Thing. First thing we have to do is rescue the Huskies. It's here we get our next trophy. Once you rescue the Husky and take them to the pen, you hold triangle down to pet them. Do this to 5 out of the 6 available and you'll get the trophy. Can I pet the dog? After that, we defeat the helicopter outside, rescue the last Husky, and it's on to the next level. The Thing has taken over the dogs in what is a pretty gruesome and ugly boss for a kid's game, but this level just entails you defeating the dog and moving on. We then have to traipse out in the cold looking for blood bags before heading back in. The next level is where we get the next trophy, this one big pile for stepping in dinosaur poop. This one is kind of misleading, as I thought this would be a straightforward one you would get in the Jurassic World Wonderworld, but no, it's here in The Thing. Next, we chase Blur around the facility and stop him blowing everything up while dodging grenades, and it's here we get Smacking Plastic for defeating 1,000 enemies. And just like the rest of the world, we defeat the purple monster related to the franchise that Eddie has corrupted and get the trophy. Wait here a little while for completing The Thing Wonderworld. Next, we are on to Jurassic World. Now, it would have been better if it was Jurassic Park, but that's just me. The first level, we need to round up and defeat them spitting dinos out of the Jurassic Park movie. We then need to rescue the baby raptors from being caught and escort Millie from Jurassic World. And then finally beat the Indominus Rex, or the Eddie Rex, or whatever you want to call him, for the trophy. That's Chaos Theory. We have 2 worlds left to go, and the next one up is Masters of the Universe. First thing you need to do is defend Castle Grayskull from Eddie. Honestly, as much as I love this world visually, as the vibrant colors, the shell-shaded theme, on top of that being Masters of the Universe, which is one of my favorite cartoons when I was younger, this was probably my least favorite set of levels. For a couple of reasons. One, the amount of enemies you go up against versus how weak some of the characters are is vast. If you are powered up as He-Man, no problem, but anything else, really difficult. On top of that, the world-specific tasks, that being the portal that you need to, I wasn't a fan of. It was okay to start, but after the second level, I'd had enough of trying to find the portal that you need to move to the next part of the map. It was just really confusing. But while defeating the final Skeletor or Skeletor Eddie, we go for the trophy 1.21 gigawatts for getting hit by lightning 5 times. And with Eddie defeated, we get the trophy I Have the Power. And with that done, there is just one Wonder World left for the main story, as it were, the world of Scott Pilgrim. Now, I've never watched Scott Pilgrim, so I have no idea really what is going on during the cutscenes, but we complete each task on the level and take Eddie out one more time, getting the last Wonder World crown. We take it back and get the trophy. Made you think about death and stuff. We go back to Freddy, who should now be healed, and we can take on Eddie one last time. For as much as this game is a lot of fun, the final boss, not so much. Probably the most repetitive final boss I've ever come across. You just shoot a giant pop from one of the worlds till the wall goes up, break the wall down. Depending on the type of pop you shoot, you change the gun from one type to another. This happens probably about 7 or 8 times, ending in a big massive blob. Once you defeat that, you get the last cutscene, which is pretty wholesome, and the trophy for defeating Eddie Pops by Eddie. Now, with the main story completed, we need to 100% each level, collecting all the items on the level, finding all of the secret worlds and completing them, getting 5 million vinyl. So far, at the end of the campaign, we are on 1.25, and I think I'll probably do them in that order. So first, we start by sweeping up all of the collectibles, which are the crowns on the map, soda parts, Foxo parts, KFC buckets, amber fossils, defeating the cameo character for that level, finding the cameo world if there is one, and the weapon prototype parts. So the difficulty with this one is that certain levels or cameos can't be opened until you get to a certain part on a certain world, which means the cameos in the first world you choose could be unlocked in the last, so it makes working out what order you need to replay them in a bit of a nightmare. Meaning it took a good few playthroughs of the same level multiple times. But first, we managed to complete the Hot Fuzz world, and in doing so, we obtained the next trophy, Breaking the Mold. This trophy is for making 250 different items from the mold machine. Then getting to the end of the cleanup with the regular collectibles, we picked up Beverage Buffed for unlocking all different soda variations. Once all that was done, it was time to complete the character cameos and unlock each of the unlockable pops related to this. First up, it's Chucky and the trophy Friend Till the End. With Chucky, he hides throughout the level in boxes, pizza stacks, portaloos, and the aim is when he jumps out, you need to defeat him, and once you've done that on all 7 levels he's hidden on, you then unlock him as a playable character. For Voltron, you need to track down a big meteor, bring it back to him while he's trying to close a vortex, all while you're being attacked by these no-face laser shooting enemies. And once you bring it back to him, you complete that and get him unlocked for the trophy Fly into the Cosmic Deathstorm. Megan is a movie I have never seen other than the trailers. Creepy little girls are really not my cup of tea. This is one of the harder encounters I had. Some of the levels were very cramped, you couldn't move, and if you left for a couple of seconds, then the whole interaction reset. The bombs being thrown around leave you little space to move, they come very quickly, but once you get the rhythm and the hang of which order she's attacking in, you can defeat her and get the trophy New Primary User. Michael, Knight, and Kit are the next bunch of cameos. You essentially need to race him around the map, which can be tricky unless you have the Diplo unlocked from Jurassic World, as that thing is rapid and ended up being the pop that I used every single time, and you'll get the win pretty easily. Once you've done that, you get the trophy kitted out. Xena is the second to last cameo I unlocked. For these missions, you need to protect her from waves of enemies and a goddess. Why the most badass female of the 90s needs protecting? I have no idea. Anyway, once that is done, we get the trophy Warrior Princess. Is the last cameo mission to unlock. On each map, he seems to have misplaced his hovercraft thing, and you take him and you protect him while he's walking to it, and every so often enemies spawn. Once you defeat them, he ends up on his hovercraft, and with the last one done, you get Send Me Your Strongest Machine. After all this, we are 50% through now, and we need to take on the cameo worlds, these being different franchises from the main game, but it is only one single level. First, we are going to start with one of my all-time top favorite franchises, and one of the franchises I think should have been a full Wonderworld, and that is in this level. Besides collecting everything like the Amber, KFC bucket, Foxo parts, you have to help Marty and Doc go back in time, similar to the third act of the movie. And once you've done that, you will get the trophy. Your kid's gonna love it. The Invincible world has you assisting Invincible, stopping Omni-Man from taking over the world. You secure buildings, send jets, and defeat some massive monster things. Doing all that gets you the trophy Earth Isn't Yours to Conquer. Nope is another movie that I haven't seen nor ever seen any trailers on it, but this level has you essentially baiting aliens for a picture, but then when it turns into some massive monster, you use a balloon to satisfy it and get it to go away. It's also here I found the worst placed collectible in human history, making it almost impossible to get. But with some perseverance, we managed to get it out and get the trophy. Get lucky. Shaun of the Dead is an absolute classic. The comedy horror was one of the first funny zombie movies we ever got. This mission has you protecting the car, taking the crew to the Winchester, and then pretending to be zombies again, just like the movie. Again, I just want to preface, the attention to detail in some of these worlds is amazing. Going so far as going into Shaun's flat and going up into the toilet, his flatmate in the shower zombified just like in the movie. I actually spent a lot of time around this world just checking out all the little bits of Easter eggs and things that they threw in, which was amazing. Once we completed that, we got the trophy. Yeah, boy. The mummy mission has you defeating Imhotep after completing a bunch of hidden traps to open the doors to him. This was a pretty simple one. Once you completed that, you get the trophy. The curse is real. We then come to probably the worst level in the game so far, Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's is not a game that I like, mainly because I'm not a fan of the horror genre. But in this mission, you need to survive the night similar to the game. Now, this was probably the hardest one because if you are too slow, you get bombarded by bombs, robot birds, and then each day adds a mascot and you have to avoid them. So you need to move quicker and quicker in order to avoid them to complete it. And you do that by going into the camera, searching each room until you find a time token, clicking the time token, and time moves on. There is also a miscellaneous trophy that we managed to pick up while we're here, and that is to be bitten by Freddy and getting the trophy, The Bite of 87. And when we finally make it through all 5 nights, we get the trophy, A Bit Quirky at Night. And then last but not least, we have the first horror movie classic, Jaws. The film that people say changed cinema forever. In this level, we have to take out the shark, and with this being the last mission, this will be some of the last collectibles completed, and they should hopefully start rolling in. First is spare no expense for collecting all of the amber and unlocking Hammond from Jurassic Park. Once we complete this level, we get the trophy smile. Now that this level is done and all the collectibles are completed, we just need to unlock them. So we need to get 0 Fox given for handing in all the Foxhole parts that unlocks the Funko Pops. We're now down to 10 more. We just need 2 weapon parts for the weapon trophy. And in order to get them, we need to go back into the first level of Jurassic World, find Hammond, and hand in all the amber. Once we do, we get all the weapon parts that we need to finalize it and get the trophy Wonderful World of Weaponry. So now looking at the trophy list, we are down to a couple of miscellaneous ones and then a few of the boring ones to get out of the way. We'll start with the miscellaneous ones, and that is to have Simon Pegg's character from Hot Fuzz play a mission on Masters of the Universe world. This trophy, it was a bug trophy, and I thought this was going to be High on Life all over again, and I would have to give up. So after searching the internet, and a big shout out to who is Joe Mama on Reddit, you basically have to upload your save file to the cloud, load the game back up, and it pops. How some people work this kind of stuff out to get it, I have no idea, but I do appreciate it. And with that, we get the trophy Power of Grayskull. Another one of these bug trophies is for playing out the part in the Hot Fuzz movie, pointing your gun into the sky and screaming, "Ah!" So sure enough, we shoot our gun in the sky, close the game, upload the save file, start the game up, and then we get it to pop. With that trophy, we've got homage to the 90s. And lastly, we need to stand on the Forbidden Rocks in the Jaws level for the trophy. Funk you, I won't do what you tell me. Next up, we need a trophy for collecting 50 variants. Now, when I first read this trophy, I thought it was just unlock all the characters possible, but no. I have been playing this game on and off for a few months now, and I had no idea there are different variations and colorways for each of the characters that you unlock within the game. Some of them you can get by the new co-op coins that are available, and others are just from the vinyl that you collect in the levels. So we went through, purchased them all for the trophy, and again, after uploading the save file to the cloud, we get the trophy Just One More. With all the variants purchased and everything unlocked, we were stuck on 99%, and everywhere I looked said that it was a bug that had not been fixed. I was resigned to giving up again and throwing this on the pile of games I've never completed, but I saw one single comment saying that there is a crown to the right of Freddy which triggers a final cutscene, and then with that, we get 100%. There are 2 trophies left before the platinum. One of them is to play every story character, but the And throughout the game, the way that these levels are played and the franchises really only have 1 or 2 characters worth using, because they're the only 2 with the abilities. For example, Scott Pilgrim with the guitar. You've got Allison with the voice. So you end up using the same ones over and over again. So I'm literally only halfway through. And then finally, we need to amass a total of 5 million vinyl. And after all that gameplay and after me purchasing all the variants, we are down to 1.1 mil. So next up, just go into the level and swap characters until the trophy pops. So I did, and nothing. I even tried the glitch method, but no, it was stuck at 53%. Although I started at 40%, so some of them must have registered. After a lot of trial and error, the only way I could get it to do was to change in the pre-game lobby, not in a world, and then after each change, check the trophy for it to update on the screen. All that done, we have the trophy. They all look so good. Now, just to get the 5 mil. I imagine there is some sort of exploit or a way of getting a lot of vinyl. So I did a quick search and found that if you go to the boss level of Jurassic World, get a fast firing gun with a lot of ammo, and then the T-Rex just spits vinyl at you. But before that, we have missed one off because I cannot count. There is one last random trophy to get. Health, skills, stamina, ammo, damage all come in the form of bottles or cans of soda. There's a trophy for recycling 50 of them. Now, I forgot to do this throughout the game, so there's around 30 left to do. So there's only one thing we can do. And with that, we have the trophy environmentally conscious. Leaving us to get the 5 million vinyl trophy, the vinyl countdown, and the platinum ultimate collector. And with that, the platinum is complete. Funko Fusion, while it takes many, and I mean many pages from the books of the LEGO games. Speaking of which, I've never really completed a LEGO game, so maybe drop some suggestions down in the comments and I'll give one of them a try. But in all honesty, if there was another toy brand that could pull off that copying LEGO, it would be Funko. This game was licensed with Universal Studios, but Funko have pops from all different genres, from games to cartoons to anime, and since the release, they have dropped free and paid DLC with the likes of The Walking Dead, The Office, and even Wicked. They've even gone so far as to update the game and the levels for Christmas with a lovely little Christmas message. So I have a feeling this game and the studio is going to be supporting it for quite a while, and I can only hope there is another game coming around the corner. Don't get me wrong, this game is far from perfect. There are bugs and there are little things that can stop you in your tracks and need to restart the level, but there is nothing game breaking that I personally have run into in my playthrough. I know from forum posts there was a 99% bug in the first few weeks, which the developers acknowledged and patched, and to be honest, that's all you can ask for. Anyway, I had an absolute blast with this, and if there are any game suggestions you want me to try and platinum, drop them down below in the comments, and until next time, peace.